Hi, I'm James Davis with Valtek Engineering. Today we're going to demonstrate attaching onto a double-acting cylinder actuator using the Profiler valve diagnostic test system. So to begin, we have a double-acting. In this case, it is a Valtek valve. We have an analog positioner also. So we're going to see also how to attach onto double-acting plus a valve with an I to P. First thing we're going to go over is how to attach directly onto the stem. With the Profiler diagnostic system, it's very important that we read the stem movement. In the ISI standard, it talks about that. So this is a very critical point. We have a C-clamp, which we use to hook onto the stem, and then we have the rod that connects to the C-clamp. We're going to hook directly onto our stem as we reach in there. We'll hook the rod onto that. We'll tighten that up there. We'll use the adjustment at this point to take up the slack. Once we take up that, we'll use the rod as a wrench to basically tighten up, and then we can snug that up, make sure it's tight. So now we have something directly mounted, very stiff to the stem of the valve. Okay. So we have that attached. We have a hook, which we're going to hook our position sensor. Now, our position sensor, again, is very accurate. It can read down to a 1/1000th of an inch, which is very important. We gather 1,000 samples per second on all our channels, all our pressure and position sensors. And also for a 4 to 20 signal out, we do 1,000 samples per second. So high resolution and high sample rate. So our string pot we're going to attach next. In this case, we have a strap that we use to strap around the cylinder. This gives us the ability to hook on very quickly and very easily. So the strap slides through the notch that's on the feedback position sensor, slides in there. I'm going to step around on the other side of this and show you how you can hook onto it. You grab this strap on either side, and you can hold it tight while you're hooking onto it. You'll slide it through the coupler, and you'll adjust and you will pull that tight. You want this to be very, very, very stiff. So this strap will hold that very tight. Next, we will hook directly onto the stem, and within a minute, we're hooked onto our valve very quickly, very easily. And we have no movement and very few fixturing in this case. Okay? So at this point, I'm going to rotate the valve around so that we will be able to see and get into our pressure sensors, our supply, and also our I to P pressure, and hook onto our signal. We are going to attach to our interface box. Our interface box provides the 4 to 20 signal, the position feedback, and in this case, we will be reading top of the actuator pressure, so it says top. So this piece of tubing here will be our red one. The green is the bottom of our actuator, very different from our single acting valves. So we have a bottom pressure, and that comes out of the bottom of the actuator. We don't go top and bottom of any positioner. We go top and bottom of the actuator. That's the key point, always the actuator. So find the piece of tubing and put that in pressure sensor into that port. We have an I to P attached directly here, whether it's remote or mounted on the positioner. Very important that we do that. Supply pressure is now mounted right here to the supply pressure. Okay? So we will be attaching all of our cables to all of our sensors at this point. Okay? So we'll set this down. We have a USB cable that we use to attach and to give power communication to our box. So in this case, we're going to attach to our computer. It doesn't matter which goes to which port. We will slide them in, and we have them attached. The next, it doesn't matter which one goes to which port either, so we're going to grab our interface box, and we're going to plug in our USB cable. If you hear a sound on the computer, that is the basically the drivers connecting to the data acquisition card. The green light will be blinking, says I have communication. I will then plug in the top, and then that gives us also a signal that it's connected, but there's no light that is on yet. As soon as we start the software, the light will then turn on our card, and we will have power to all of our sensors and to all of our signals going to the positioner itself. So I'm going to attach this directly onto here so that it is up here out of the way, and we can attach to it so that it can hang there. So we have a connection there. Next is we're going to connect in all of our pressure sensors. Now we have 4 pressure sensors. 3 of them are 150 psi because our actuator can take up to 150 psi for double acting. We have quick connects put onto these, and in this case, our valve has quick connects. Rather than gauges, quick connects are becoming very easily used for doing diagnostics. Very important to get on and off a valve quickly and to gather the data accurately. So if you had gauges, you'd have to take the gauges out. In this case, the gauges are replaced with quick connects, and these quick connects do not leak. They're very good. We also have a 30 psi. A 30 psi we will put in to read our 3 to 15 psi I to P. If you had a 6 to 30 I to P, we can do that with the profiler, and this would read 0 to 30 on our pressure sensor. So we could also calibrate and check I to Ps that are 6 to 30 output. So in this case, we'll put our supply pressure in first. We'll clip that in so it's hooked in. Next, we're going to get our red one or our top pressure. Only it says top for double acting. So we do top and bottom. So follow the piece of tubing down. Piece of tubing happens to be the bottom port, okay? That's why we don't go off. Positioners can be different. So we are going to plug them directly in to the bottom port. Next, the green one will go into the last port that we have, follow the tubing, and the green one is the bottom of the actuator. It's very important that we hook them up correctly. If we hook them up backwards, our software, if you select this as an air to open, our software will tell you that they are backwards. If we do hook them up backwards and you run the test, it will read our friction upside down. So it's very important that we have our pressures set right, and it's also used for calculating and checking our plug and seat alignment and compression. So very important to put them in the right port, okay? So at this point, we have our position sensor hooked up, supply pressure, bottom pressure, top pressure, and I to P pressure, okay? Next, we will look at our cabling. All of our cables are exactly the same, except for the color code. Very important for that. So we are going to, in this case, since we have signal, we have position, which is the blue one, plugs in. We will also have top pressure. It says top right here on the box. We have the bottom pressure. We'll put that right there on the bottom pressure. Yellow is our I to P pressure, our 3 to 15, and gray is now our supply. So in this case, with a double acting analog with an I to P, we will be using every port of the cable and also of the box. So that way we're attached to everything, okay? Next, we will start hooking on to our pressure sensors, okay? So we will reach across here, we'll twist till it drops in and snaps. We will grab our gray. You can do this in any order, doesn't matter, till it snaps. Our green goes to green. Very easily color-coded. And also, if there's a difference in colors, we can also label this accordingly. We'll then attach our signal. Our 4 to 20 signal will now be attached, and we can clamp directly. Red goes on positive, and black goes on negative, just like that. Last but not least, we will attach to our position sensor, and we will snap that on. So very quickly, very easily, we have attached onto a double acting actuator using every pressure sensor of every port. Our double acting, reading our friction. In a single acting actuator, we use one pressure to calculate our friction and our load. In a double acting, we use the net pressures to calculate our friction and also do our load testing, make sure that we got proper load. We also use this to calculate our plug compression and also our plug and seat alignment, which is very critical. This type of testing gives us all of that ability to make sure that everything is working properly, and that if our plug and seat are seating properly so that we're not leaking by. Okay, so in this case, we have everything attached and hooked onto our valve. We have everything attached to our box. We will now start the software. We'll double click on the profiler software. When the software starts, we will then see, I'll lift up our box and we will show you that our box has power to it. Once the software starts, we will look at the box here. Bottom light is blinking green. Top light is solid green, meaning we have power. So at this point, we are ready to log into the software and do our initial testing of our valve. So if you are interested in more information, please go to our website. Also, you can contact me through the website, James Davis, and we can do presentations on Teams. We can do live presentations at your facility, and we can talk and discuss more about the Profiler Valve Diagnostic System. Thank you.